Hey folks, my name is Ravish and welcome back to the first video in the series of Q&A. So this is the first Q&A video that I'm doing, and it was a long awaited video and I was not getting enough time to record this, but here we are. So a few days back I have posted a question on my community tab on YouTube that is there any question that you want me to answer? Is there anything that you want me to look into, give you some advice on that? So this is answer to that community post, and I have also posted a video on that in which I was asking for your comments that if you can ask me those questions, I would like to create a separate video for this. So this is the first video in the series, and I'll be taking the questions that are written under the video, and I'll be creating a new video, a separate video later, somewhere down the week or later, maybe next week, in which I'll be answering the different questions that you have posted under the community tab. All right, so again I would like to request that if you're new over here and seeing me for the first time, kindly subscribe the channel because it really supports me to create more content like this. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this was the video that I was talking about, Q&A video series announcement, and a lot of people have commented their questions over here. So I'll be answering that. All right. So the first question comes from Honey Fun. Let me expand it a bit so that you can take a better look at it. I think this is better now. Okay. Hi, I'm new to DevOps and still learning. Do you have any tips on how to learn IaaC? I'm learning Terraform currently and feel overwhelmed by it. Okay, so it's a great question. First of all, for all those who do not know what IaaC is, it is infrastructure as a code. Okay, so things like Terraform, things like ARM templates, things like Bicep, CloudFormation, Pulumi are an example of it. So infrastructure as a code is, in this method we manage the servers through the code, automation programs instead of manually setting up the software. Like configuration the server, setting up the servers, etc. So this helps to automate the infrastructure, software configuration, deployment, services. By doing this, we can achieve the consistencies in the servers. We can deploy our software faster, we can easily monitor them and reduce the mistakes that we do on a general basis. All right, so see, the straight answer to this question is, according to me, this is the exact problem that I faced long back. It is indeed overwhelming. It is very confusing at this start. The only answer I can give to this question is practice. It took me over a year to actually understand the Terraform and how it works. The only advice I can give you is start solving real-time problems, face a lot of issues, and then only you would be able to learn. Do POCs on your own, make mistakes, and then learn. Also, whatever you face as an issue, take a piece of paper, take a pen and write it down on it and keep it with you. This will help you in the longer run. You can use it to read it just before the interviews and everything will be refreshed. So this is the one piece of advice that I would like to give it to you. All right, so let's jump to the next question. Hey bro, I'm from non-technical background. I have learned most of the technologies of the DevOps space, currently working on projects for my resume. So my question is, how can I find a DevOps related job, because most of the job have BTech or a CS background requirement? Legit question. A lot of people has reached out to me with this question. So the question is not clear in terms that if you're a fresher or an experienced person, but that does not matter. I will anyway answer both ways. All right, so if you are an experienced person, make sure that you have a few projects hand on. Make sure that you have written all of them in your resume, and also make sure that you have an active GitHub profile. Active GitHub profile means you can create a profile if there is not, and you can put all of your projects on that profile. This will help you at the time of interview, because whenever you write that link in your resume, people might go over there, recruiter might go over there and check whether you have active profile or not, and then it can give it to the hiring manager. Also try to do the certifications. Certification might increase your chances, like cloud certifications. There is no DevOps certification, but cloud and DevOps goes hand in hand these days. So certifications will help you. Now if you are a fresher and you do not have a degree, non-CS, so you will be considered as a fresher. So non-degree getting into IT becomes very tough. It's actually very challenging and it becomes very tough. So try enrolling for an open university technical degree like BCA. You can Google it out. There are a lot of universities that gives you BCA degree, and you can put that in your resume, and then at least you will have the chance for an interview. And there are universities which will give you these courses online or remotely. This way you can put this in your resume and get a chance. So this would be my advice to you. All right. So the third question is, hi, I have completed my PG CS in, I hope CS is computer science and not company secretary, in 2016. I have 7 years of experience in different domain. Now I am planning to switch to DevOps. Please give me your suggestion. Okay, fair question. Now this answer would be similar to what I just told. The first thing you should take care about is your resume. Is your resume updated with all the latest tools? Is your resume updated with all the latest tools and technologies? Make sure you have, again, the project hands-on and written on your resume. Also make sure that you have an active GitHub profile, which is what I talked about, because this will leverage your chances of your selection in the interview. This GitHub profile should be updated with your projects, whichever projects that you do. In the interview, you can write all the tools and the technologies that you have worked upon, and you can talk about it. Your interviewer would be glad to talk about it if you have any kind of projects created. And at the time of interview, make sure you show them the code or the infrastructure that you have created. This will help you and get the calls and the job. All right. So I hope this would be helpful for you. The next question is from Muhammad Umair. Hi bro, as of now, I'm completing my third year in DevOps career. I'm not sure what is third year in DevOps career, but I think he's trying to say third year in his degree. I'm planning to shift product-based companies, I think completing my third year in DevOps career. Okay, I think he's already working somewhere. All right, that's great. I'm planning to shift product-based companies. Which concept I would be strong enough to crack? Those product-based companies like Amazon, I think Microsoft, these guy talking about. Please tell me in little depth. I start my preparation also. This is a very good question. So this guy Muhammad Umair is already into DevOps and have over 3 years of experience. All right. So the advice that I would like to give him. See, the product-based company that you are planning for is like Amazon, Microsoft, Morgan Stanley, JPMC, etc., etc. What will happen over there is the first round would be of coding. So if you want to go in these companies, you should be good at coding, and if not, then scripting. Let's say they can give you a problem. In my career, I've also given interview for Microsoft for the position of SRE, and then the first round they took for was coding, and they asked me you can use any language, and I chose Python at that time. So if you're not knowing any high level language, you can start with Python. There is a course over there on my channel. You can go over there and you can just go to playlist over there, and there is a course for that here, Python for beginners. You can start from here, or you can go through any other channel which you find a better one. All right, so the first round should be of coding, and that they might ask you a simple problem, because what I've seen is the interviews for DevOps and SRE are not basically that data structure oriented. So it's good if you already know DSA, but that not that much, not that deeper. Okay, so the first round would be scripting or coding. So if you know scripting, then you should be able to solve that problem through your script or from Python. All right, that would be first step. The second step, you should have information about system design. System design in the sense, let's say I can give you a problem statement right away. If I'm the interviewer at Amazon or Microsoft, I would ask you, or companies like Atlassian, I would ask you, let's say a simple program, a simple problem, like design a Paytm wallet. Just that, design a Paytm wallet, that ambiguous. Now you are allowed to ask me questions that, okay, can I do this in wallet? Can I do this in wallet? And I would be able to answer. And then you go to the problem and then you solve. So system designing is the second thing that you need to know. Okay. And he can ask you, the person who is interviewing you can ask you that, how do you scale it? So you should know the technologies that are used in that and things that goes around it. So system design is the second thing that you should need to know. Third thing is you should know everything that is written on your resume, all the tools and technologies. Like if you worked on Ansible, Terraform, CloudFormation, Pulumi, Kubernetes, Docker, anything that you have worked on, you should be knowing about that. So these are the few things that you need to take care. And SRE principles, how to approach a problem, what you have done, if you have faced a problem, something like that, because that is going to be real-time questions when he or she will ask you. Okay, so I hope this advice would be beneficial for you. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I think this is done. Yeah. So Jagdish Naidu, topics to focus interview question expected for AWS 3 to 4 years of experience. Okay. So as I already told that cloud and DevOps goes hand in hand, and he's asking about AWS. So AWS, the first thing that an interviewer will ask you, do not write just AWS in your resume. Okay. And if you have already written it, then at the time of interview, you will tell him that, okay, on the AWS, these are the services that I have worked on. For example, EC2. EC2 is kind of the very basic thing that you need to learn. IAM rule, IAM policies, and I've worked on SNS, I've worked on SQS, I've worked on DynamoDB, I've worked on Aurora, I've worked on this, I've worked on that. There is a plethora of services that are available on AWS, and you have to tell him, the interviewer, that these are the tools and technology that I've worked upon, and on the basis of that they will take your interview. So my advice would be here, whenever you go for an interview, either write everything that you have worked upon in AWS as a service and tell them, okay, these are the services that I've worked upon, and you can ask me questions anytime. There are multiple questions that can be followed on AWS in terms of like EC2, in terms of SQS, SNS, S3 bucket, roles, policies, multiple questions can be formed. So that's the advice for you. Make sure whatever services that you have worked on, go on the internet, type interview questions on IAM, interview questions on EC2, interview question on SQS, interview questions on DynamoDB, something like that. You just have to tell the interviewer that I've worked on this 5 to 10 services, and you can ask me from end to end anything. So this would be beneficial for you. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so the next question is of HR. As I'm working, so looking for joining an online institute, so that I can work and learn also. The question is, so he has given 3 things. First is it wise decision to join institute with 50k fees to learn DevOps? Okay, so I'll just read and then answer. As I'm working on a QA for 2.5 years of experience, both manual and automation, while switching on companies will accept my design QA. Good. It is related to second question to the interview. Okay, let me answer the first question. See, there are 2 things. Whenever there are few people who do not need to pay fees, they just go on the internet, take a look at the roadmap. And if you want to take a look at the roadmap, what you can do is just go to my channel over here, and there would be, let me see, let's talk to, I think this is the playlist, I guess. I think this is the playlist, and over here should be somewhere here. This is how to start your career in DevOps. Okay, so in this video I have divided into 3 phases. All right, so if you go through all those 3 phases, so let me just show you. So this would be beneficial for you. So this is phase 1. Okay, so this is phase 1. What you can see over here is, do you know everything in phase 1? If yes, you can move to phase 2. There are 3 phases. This is as per my experience, whatever I had over the course of 10 years. I have put everything over here. It totally depends that how much do you know over here. If you can go on the internet, learn Bash, Shell or PowerShell, you do not need to pay any fees. If you can learn online Python, you do not need to pay any fees. If you can learn Go, no fees. Git, GitHub, anything, operating system build tool, artifact management, all the videos are available over the internet. This is one thing. Okay, but there are few people who are not self-motivated, and sometimes what happens is they need to pay money in order to study, which is okay, fine, perfectly fine. I have also paid a lot of money to people to invest in myself and for my education, and this has been fruitful. So it totally depends whether you have the money or not. So if you are an individual who has a handsome salary and you can spend 50k on the fees, it's okay. I mean, you can go through it, but make sure that you search the internet first and then take a look, take a wise decision, take an informed decision that whether should I spend this 50,000 rupees or not. Would I be serious? And it is okay to pay fees and learn, because at the time of paying fees you have the skin in the game, and this will motivate you to study more and do the assignment as well. So it's totally upon you. If you have the money, go for it. If you do not have, there is a plethora of resources available online that you can study. Okay, your next question is, as I'm working as QA with 2.5 both experience and manual while switching will companies. Okay, so this is, I'm telling from personal experience. There was a person who was working with me in my current company few years back, I guess in 2019, who came to me, and she was an automation engineer. So automation engineer is a good way to proceed to DevOps, even developer also. I think anyone can learn DevOps and cloud if they want to, but automation, they already know how to write scripts, so it is much more easier for them to do the transition. All right, so while switching, will companies accept me? So the thing is, you can anytime say, if you are in your current organization as a QA, start learning DevOps processes, start learning the tools and technologies, and at the time of interview you can easily say that I was a QA. Do not lie on the resume, do not lie. Just say, at the time I joined as a QA, which is true, and I had an interest in DevOps, so I started learning and took a few projects from the DevOps, from the developers. I've worked with them, and now I know the processes. Now I know how to do the delivery, CI/CD, and the tools. And then and you can tell that over the course of 6 months or 1 year, I worked as a DevOps engineer, though I was hired as a QA. And you have to justify this, because at the time of interview, people will catch that you are lying or not. So in order to justify, you have to put your effort, you have to learn something. So that has to be done. So make sure whenever you do the transition from QA to DevOps, or from DevOps, or from dev to DevOps, or from BA, business analyst, to DevOps, make sure that you have put the work in, because at the time of interview, he or she can ask from anywhere, and you should be able to tell everything that you have done. It's fine, it's totally fine. Even I started my career as a dev, and then I switched to DevOps and cloud, and I did the same thing. All right, so I think this would be helpful for you. And this 2.5 years of experience would be an added advantage, because you are already into the game and you know the processes that happens in an IT industry. All right, so the third question, it is related to second question. I can say to interview that I was working simultaneously. Yeah, that is what I am saying, that your project, you can work with the other people like devs, and you can know the processes, the system, how it works, the application, how it works, and you can write that in your resume. And then you can ask the DevOps, what do you do? Try to do something with them, do the actual work. Do not just fake it in the resume, do not just fake it in the interview, because the interviewer would be smart and he or she will catch you. Do the actual work, and this would be beneficial for you. All right, so let's see the next question. It's from Revant M. I think this guy is connected with me on the LinkedIn. Oh, by the way, if you want me to connect on the LinkedIn, just type Ravi Shrawat, and I think you would be able to see the first few guy, and send me a request over the LinkedIn. I would love to be connected with you. All right, let's move on. So Revant is asking, hi Ravi, hope you're good. This question would be helpful for new learners, which would cloud in presentation. Thanks Raven, thanks a lot. The next question is from Vijay Kumar. If someone has the experience in IT in other than DevOps and cloud, so how to prepare a resume and first showcase a DevOps project where we find the resource? Okay, great question. Now Vijay, I have already started let me go over here in my channel, go to playlist, and then let me just close this. Now here I've already started the DevOps resume review series. So I have been putting a few videos. Right now there are only 2 to 3 videos, but I will put more videos in which you can take a look, and you can write your own resume. I have given the example on the description. I have given the links as well. You can download the format. I will add more. Okay, and how to prepare the resume is there only, and the showcase of DevOps project. So if you go over here, you can see there are 3 projects as of now. This is a real-time project, first project in the playlist. You have to just click on the playlist and you'll see it's fine. This is the first project, this is the second project, and this is the third project. This project is not yet completed, but I'm on my way to complete it. You can start from this, and I will add more real-time projects over this, so you can understand how things go. And there are multiple people on the YouTube, on the internet, that are writing the projects, and they will give you free of code. My code is also free over here. You would be able to see on my LogicOps lab. GitHub account. All right. So I hope I have answered your question. What are all the basic skills required to get into DevOps realm? Is from Akash Lodi. So again, the same thing I would like to tell you. Just go to playlist and go to Let's Talk DevOps, and there would be first or second video over here, which is this, how to start your career in DevOps. And this is the place, this is the way you can understand. And I have poured all of my experience in this video. This is 55 minutes video. I have poured all of my experience, phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, through which you can learn whatever is needed in today's DevOps, and you would be able to crack any interviews if you know everything over here. There are 3 phases that I have talked about. This is phase 1, this is phase 2, this is phase I think this is phase 3, I guess. Let me check. This is phase 3. Everything I have written over here. All right, so you would be able to just take a piece of paper and pen with you, write everything, and you would be able to understand. All right, so let's circle back to the last question of today. How can cloud engineers move to DevOps role? See, the first advice I would give to you is, if you are a cloud engineer is again a very good profession, and if you excel in cloud, you can become a cloud architect, cloud solution architect, and it would be great, and you do not have to come into DevOps. But if you want to be DevOps engineer plus cloud engineer, you're welcome, and that would be good as well. So what you can do is, again, how do you move to DevOps role? You do not need to move into DevOps 100%. Make sure 50-50 you know both of them, and then again go through this video and understand what do we need to be a DevOps engineer, because this is how to start a career in DevOps, how to start it from scratch. All the phases I have written in this video, and if you do not understand anything, feel free to comment below and I will address that in this video itself. So this is the one-stop solution of understanding how do you get started in DevOps. All right, the next question is from Sumant. What are the job roles for cloud and how to get a job, please? Okay, this is the perfect question. Who do not understand the difference between cloud engineer and a DevOps engineer, I have created a separate video for this. So if we go to the videos, here is that video, DevOps cloud engineer versus DevOps engineer. Okay, so this is the video for that, cloud engineer versus DevOps engineer. I have talked about everything: cloud engineer versus DevOps engineer versus cloud engineer, salary, job roles, growth, key focus, DevOps versus cloud engineer, which is better. I've talked about everything in this video, and you can just go through this video and understand everything, and you would be able to learn how to. And if you want to get a job, the only way is, first of all, learn something. First deserve, then desire. First deserve, like you need to know what exactly happens over here, and then after that you can write everything in the resume. Resume is the key. The good resume is the key. That's why I've created a series for the resume. Okay, so resume is the key, and then you can start applying on LinkedIn, apply on naukri.com and indeed.com, monsterjob.com. everywhere you would be able to get the calls. Okay, so let's move on to second question. Redappa, why I need DevOps client interview, question and answer. Okay, again, everything that I have been telling you is already on my channel, and you can take a look. Go to playlist, go to DevOps interview series. This is a gold mine over here. There are 10 interviews, all real-time interview, nothing is fake over here, and all over the world, people from all over the world. I've been taking interviews, and then I have put it over here. All you have to do is go through each and every interviews. You can see DevOps interview series. This one is on Docker machine test. This is on AWS DevOps Jenkins. This is on Azure DevOps scenario base. This is on full DevOps project. This is on Azure DevOps Terraform, and this is on Terraform 100%. So this is the answer to your question. Go through this series, understand everything, write down in piece of paper, and I'm 100% sure that if you know each and every answer in this interview, you would be able to crack any interview. All right, so let's circle back to another question. Please share DevOps interview for fresher. I think fresher interview from Bhushan Charagade. Fresher is very hard to find a job in DevOps, though I'm not saying that they cannot, they can, but it's very hard. A lot of companies are now opening their arms to accept people who want to start their career as a DevOps and as a fresher, but it is not that much in motion as of now. But if you want to take a look at the DevOps interview for fresher, I would like to arrange it over the course of, just give me some time, 1 or 2 months. I'll ask someone who has taken a DevOps engineer as a fresher in their company. I would share it. All right. So that would be one thing. Riddhima, or how to start a career in DevOps from scratch. I think this is the one. This is a one-stop solution to understand how do you start it. QT oops movements, give me your mail ID so that I can attach to your DevOps question. So in case you want me to send a question, this is logicopslab@gmail.com. You can connect with me. So I'll have to check the mail. Let me just open the mail. I think this is the mail. So there are 3 questions that has been added over here. So let me just do it. So the first question is, as an interviewer, what is your first thought when you see a guy having 3-4 experience in IT, non-IT domain, maybe 5-6 years also, and applied to DevOps role now? Do you count his past experience, consider him as a fresher, or actually do you show interest in interview that guy is a waste of time? Okay, first of all, when a person comes to me to give the interview, I never see him or her as a waste guy or a waste of time. No, I never do that, and I will never do that in my future. I just take a look at the resume. The first thing is resume. As I said, that the resume is the key. The first thing I take a look at is the resume. So in the resume, I take care of all the things that he has done in his past or her past, and in that resume, whether he has done anything related to DevOps, any tools, whatever he knows. And it's good that you at least know that you have been stuck in some kind of role since quite long, and now you want to change your career to some other thing that you can do. It's great. So first of all, respect to that. And second, I start asking, like, explain me your project. So when they explain me your project, so I ask them, like, do you know what exactly is DevOps? Very basic questions. I start from very basic every time, unless he's someone who is an architect, that this is something that you need to know, your project. What is CI/CD? What have you done as a CI/CD? Write me a pipeline from end to end, from scratch, like from checking out the code till delivery. You have to deliver that. You have to at least give me an idea, how will you do that? What have you done in all the technologies that you have written? So that's the chance that I give to every interviewer. So that's the first thought that come to my mind, that the person is good and he's trying, or he or she is trying to change the profession. But has he done the perfect work? Has he or she has any sort of technical expertise on whatever tools he's writing in the DevOps realm? All right. So that would be something. Continue to the first question. Do you suggest him to apply for DevOps role as a fresher, 2-3 relevant experience? See, again, I'll say that applying for DevOps role as a fresher is a very tedious task, and a lot of people won't even entertain your resume. That is what happening. This is not what I do generally. This is what has been happening. But again, I'll say that a lot of companies are opening their arms now. 2-3 years relevant. Again, the same thing. Do your projects, do the work, learn the tools, create your own projects, write some script, write some code, and tell them at the time of interview that I was in some other role, like a dev, tester, business analyst, or anyone non-technical, but I want to switch to DevOps, and this is what I have done. An interview will certainly do. I have taken a lot of interviews, and there are few people who are doing great, but they came from a non-technical background. They were from electrical engineering, they were from biotechnology. They were able to understand everything. They were from mechanical branch, they were from automation branch, and they were able to understand the DevOps concept. They have done their projects, and they told me that I have not done a lot, but this is what I have done. So I have asked my question on the basis that, and a sane interviewer would understand and give you a chance. Okay, so all the best for that. So the third one is, where and how to find open position for fresher DevOps roles. So this is again a very tedious task to find for fresher DevOps, because not a lot of companies entertain your resume for a fresher DevOps opening. There is a chance that you can get. There are internships that people might offer. A lot of companies offer internships so that they teach you. See, the question is why you are not given as a DevOps role for fresher, because there are servers that are bread and butter of the company, and if you are in a client based company, like a service based company, if you give a production server or a staging server to a fresher and somehow he deletes it, somehow he do any cause any ruckus that will come on your company as a revenue and for the client, and that would not be a good task. All right. So yeah, I mean, that can be taken care later. A lot of people, I think, not a lot, a handful of people have landed a job in terms of fresher, but not everyone gets it. So that's what I wanted to tell you. But yeah, there is hope. There is not 100%, but again, I'm saying, write your own projects, apply for an internship or something, and then move to DevOps that you can do. All right. So I think this is done. The last question is from Hari Krishna Obu. How many jobs are run in your project? I do not understand this, but there is no straight answer to this. A project can have multiple builds. It can be from 0 to any number at any given time, and when video coming ASAP. So probably I'll be putting it by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. All right. So I hope this session was helpful for you. I think this is somewhere over 30 minutes, and this would be helpful for you. If you have any question, feel free to comment below in the comment section. And there was one more section for the community tab, which I will cover later. I won't be covering in this video because it's already 30 minutes over. And again, if you folks are new over here and you like the video, you like the effort that I put in over here, please subscribe the channel, do comment, do like, do share with your friends, and it would be helpful for me. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.